What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have some new news concerning Andy Ruiz. The mind games continue. Andy Ruiz trolls Anthony Joshua as a war of words with Lennox Lewis continues, of course. And Ruiz insisted he would pick Lennox Lewis over Anthony Joshua if they met in their primes. And he basically replied in a tweet because, of course, the question was asked, the fantasy question between who would win between Anthony Joshua and Lennox Lewis. And Ruiz was like, hey, Lennox Lewis all day. Now, the strange thing about this is I always look and read between the lines. And I've always believed that a lot of people answer certain questions due to some type of personal feeling or some kind of inside agenda. You know, like certain people make certain videos about certain fighters, either, you know, especially if it's hate or like, right? Because of how they feel personally about them. Maybe they're biased in some kind of way. And in Ruiz's case, you know, I wonder, is that what he would feel, or is that how he truly feels, or is that just because Lennox Lewis is on the same team with Ruiz and Deontay and et cetera, et cetera? You know what I'm saying? Because you have to look at the reasoning behind what a person and how a person answers a question. You know, he says Lennox all day, but, you know, what if Lennox wasn't the commentator of PBC? I wonder what would be his choice between the two fighters. You see what I'm saying? So I can understand, or it's logical or typical, so to say, that Ruiz would make that comment on top of, you know, the mind games of, hey, I think he would win anyway, because, you know, conveying that he's not a good fighter or he's not the best fighter. Now, the funny thing about this, I agree with Andy Ruiz. I agree with Andy Ruiz because I think Lennox Lewis is too much for Anthony Joshua in his career right now. I think Lewis would smoke Anthony Joshua. You know, bottom line, it just, you know, he's better fundamentally. He, you know, has less flaws, you know, and he's just a better all-around fighter than a boxer, rather, than Anthony Joshua. You know, I think Joshua likes to mix it up, and that's what got him in trouble with Ruiz. But would that get him in trouble with a taller fighter? You know, now the thing about Lennox Lewis, if we were just looking into it, I think Lennox Lewis has a subject chin. He gets knocked out. He's been knocked out twice. You see what I'm saying? KO'd, not TKO'd, not any of that other shit. No, he been knocked out, didn't beat the count. You know, that's something Deontay claimed to do to Tyson Fury. Right? That didn't actually happen twice to Lennox Lewis. So, you know, if we were going to talk about who was the best, Lennox Lewis would outbox him all day. However, who's to say he wouldn't get caught with an uppercut and end his night early? After all, this is heavyweight boxing, you know. But then my reasoning for picking Lewis over Anthony Joshua, you know, I question if that's the same reasoning or the same reason that Andy Ruiz would pick Lewis over Joshua, if you get what I'm saying. You know, same team. So sure, I'm going to pick whoever is on the PBC side because it's all about politics these days, you know. And then it gives him an edge because he's got to win over Joshua. He's the only one that done that. And plus, you know, yeah, I'm going for the other guy. You know what I mean? The guy closest to me that I can relate to that's on my team. But anyway, you guys tell me what you think about Andy Ruiz's statements and comments. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.